Thank you.
Do chair preference? I do know.
Oh, not that chair.
In the middle. Your son said Superman.
Make a movie that can't sit in chairs.
I missed the first half.
It was good.
Okay, thanks.
So Jason, do you want to talk about how this came about? Did you write this with Michael in mind?
I didn't tell him at first, but I did write it with Michael in mind. Thank you.
Thank you.
And I was passing it around, and this was Michael and I actually met in February to talk about this movie, and we were really excited about it. Problem with that was it was February of 2020, and I did everything wrong. I was traveling all over the place, and like I'm probably patient zero, so the pandemic slowed everything down. And then after that started to thaw, it took about 2 years. Like studios went bankrupt, like stuff happened, like financiers pulled out, and then eventually it's like I gotta figure this out. And then we eventually, with Justin Kelly and I and some friends, we scrounged up enough money to like get going again. And then that was probably a weird call for you after 2 years.
Hey, I dug it from day one.
Yeah.
So I was absolutely down.
Yeah, so it was. I'm just a Michael Jai White fan. And then I started writing it without just open, and then like halfway through, I'm like, this is a Michael Jai White movie. Like this is like that makes total sense. So we talked to Adrienne Stern, who was our casting director, and she was like, "Oh yeah, that makes total sense." I'm like, "Yeah, thanks." And then you got back to me in like a couple days, which was always scary.
Well, no, I was flattered because a lot of times someone can't really. I mean, like I have a certain persona that's kind of different from this, right? And so, like they go, okay, Spawn, Mike Tyson, and you don't normally, you know what I mean? But I guess there's people with assigned images, but the fact that he could see through that, he knew that I had this character in me. That's very flattering to me. That's somebody that showed me a sign that they can see deeper than most, and so that's something that I was very impressed with, and I was very flattered by it.
You and Miles have really great chemistry. Can you talk a little bit about acting between the two of you?
After you.
Well, like I said, kind of connected to what I was just saying, is that a lot of people don't realize I'm a freaking nerd, right? like because I play a lot of cool, like somewhat too cool for school characters, and it's like even growing up, like I happened to, I was just a nerd in a thug's body, in a way, right? And so that's it. Like my friend base, not the people that you might think, So, and I'm even in school. I'm playing classical piano. I play like I'm not like even though I play these badasses a lot. It's sometimes it hides who I really am to a lot of people. They see the guy kicking people in the throat and just walking terror, but I get a chance to be who I am, and I love to be able to show who I am. And so, like Miles and me, like our chemistry, that's a natural thing. That's a natural thing wherever we go, and it's just who I am, and then I get to play it on screen, without the distractions of the other stuff. And that's one of the things I think is so wonderful, is because, no matter what, like I'm doing, or you might have seen in another movie or whatever, I get a chance to be a human. I get a chance to play to who we really are. And, so that's kind of, I think it's natural. What you're seeing is a natural chemistry. And we only have a few days to shoot. And so if that's not working, we're in trouble. But that's why I say I'm so thankful for Jason's insight to see that and not be distracted like a lot of people might be. And then we're looking at a guy that you go, oh wait, I can identify with that guy, in the end of the day, we're more similar than we are, dissimilar. So that's kind of the.
You were both also really good dancers.
Oh yeah, we had some dance battles.
Yeah. First of all, thank you for saying that. I appreciate that you picked up on that. I didn't even know that Michael was going to be a part of the project until literally the day before we started shooting. And when I saw that, I instantly freaked out. I fanned out actually, because one of my favorite movies is Black Dynamite. And yes, huge applause for that, because that movie encapsulates all like my humor, like exactly what I like about comedy and action, of course. But like I quote that movie to this day. I quote that movie like in passing. Like I hang out with my wife and I'm like, all right, we'll see you tomorrow. You know what I mean? Like I make these quotes, and so instantly I was excited from the get. But when I actually met him and we started talking, just like he said, we have so much in common. From the music that we like, to the dancing, we both love to dance. And so we would literally like put on music and dance. And we have the same taste in music and same taste in movies and comedy. And so that chemistry that you see is actually like you said, is real life kind of coming to on screen. And one thing that, if you don't mind me sharing a moment like on set that was really special to me. It's not a funny one, it's actually a serious one, but like in a good way. Because that scene where Michael and I were, I was fixing his arm, is a pretty long scene, like between the two of us. It's probably could be like 4 or 5 minutes, 6 minutes, which is a decent amount for two people, just to talk. And in between takes, he looked at me and he was like, dude, like, you're so present. You're here with me. And he was like, thank you, because like it makes everything so much easier. And I was just like, you too, man. Like, I was like, thank you. And like that moment was just a great moment for me, and kind of like solidifies everything that we're talking about. And that's like the bridge between the real life hanging out and talking shit and whatever to the work life of actually being on set and doing the thing combines when you're with each other. And so, yeah, that's that.
I have a ton of questions, but I want to know if any of you all have any questions for these guys. Yeah.
So has the title been changed from Sunset Superman or to Sunset Superman?
Okay. Day one, page one, Sunset Superman. I'm a Dio fan. I was like, we're gonna get the Dio track. We're gonna pay way too much money for it. Tubi acquires it. They hate the title. I don't know why. I mail you Sunset Superman instead. And I've asked Tubi a lot, like, just give me like any, like, did it test poorly? I don't understand. Like, it's a foundational title, like it works up to the song. And like the character has a Dio patch on his back, and he sings Holy Diver. Like, I don't understand why we're doing this. And they're like, no, just don't mess with grandma. And I'm like, I'm okay, I guess. I can't really. I've complained a lot. I've written a lot of letters to them. I've tried to be as cordial as possible. This movie's called Sunset Superman. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Just a random question. Where did the idea for the invasion mask come from? Because I swear to God, it looked like rejects from Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey.
Well, that's a compliment of the highest order.
Have you seen that movie?
Yeah, of course I've seen it. I haven't seen the sequel yet. Anyway, I'm off the
It's not even available yet.
But anyway, no, the joke was, because there's like a lot of like inherent jokes in the scenery, and the joke was the grandmother was working on a wolf's head, and it was the three little pigs breaking into the wolf's apartment or whatever, the cabin. So we wanted to give him something kind of intimidating, but like not intimidating enough that it's not like, oh, this is gonna be really silly when he gets punched in the face in this. And then I think that turned out pretty well. I think.
Yes, sir.
I loved all the practical stunt work. Can you talk about that? And most importantly, what was it like to beat up Billy Zane?
You were a wizard. I was blown away. Like the only reason we were able to like get what we got in the this movie was shot in 18 days. Was because of your just your gratitude to everyone around you and making sure you weren't awesome at all times and like making sure like all the fits hit and all the everything sold. I was like, thank you. Like I was humbled. Yeah, do you remember anything about fighting?
What was the question actually?
No, the question was like, can you go like doing the stunts and this and all the practical stuff that's going on and such.
Well, I mean, it wasn't. Well, I do a lot of that stuff
Yeah.
in the movie. So this is kind of like a little lighter as far as I know I had to fight a lot of people, but I mean, this was just a pleasure. This is one of the most fun shoots I've ever had. I mean, we just I mean, it was like a family. So it's I don't know. I mean, for me, the fighting and stunt stuff is old hat to me. That's like that's a given. So it's just about just in the time that we had to try to make this as organic and put the because the script is done. The script is there, and so when we get on set, I like to say that we're at a place where we're putting the sprinkles and the whipped cream on top of it, and being susceptible and open to improv and creating just some life that wasn't even there, like that we're, what I mean, that certain things will present itself in the moment that you want to take advantage of, and I'm glad we were able to do that. But when you have a great working atmosphere and creative people like Miles and Jake, like then you can do that stuff. So yeah, I'm happy of those happy accidents.
Yeah, and
there were a lot of them.
Yeah, and we didn't want to make JT like too proficient in martial arts or anything like that. We wanted to make sure he's more brawler and like he did like a lot of like short, like small joint manipulation. Like he grabbed wrists and twists because he picked that up from the Marine Corps. He was a ranger. That was right. He's a ranger. Yeah, we also wanted him to get beat up a lot. The whole point is like he's gonna get to the end of this thing. Like he cares more about keeping his grandmother safe than he does his own physical body. So that was it was awesome. It was awesome to work with Teek Fong, who does the cinematography disc, and he went ham. So I was really impressed.
We have time for a couple of more questions. Yeah, in the back.
Are there any plans to continue Jasper's story? Because I really enjoyed this, and I'd love to see more adventures of Jasper.
There's a slight treatment that I put together. I could really see JT, especially Michael, be in any genre. I don't think he needs to be in an action movie. I think if he was in a haunted house, it'd be just as good. But any excuse to work with these guys again, I'll do in like a hot minute. There's no question there. Yeah, for sure. I love JT. He's great. I think he's like a Big Lebowski action hero. I think it's a really cool thing, and we don't see enough of that.
One more question. Yeah.
So working with a dog, always a good time. So, any stories about that working with that dog and that are worth telling?
That was the sweetest dog in the world. So to try to like make him like an angry, vicious monster was nigh impossible. And like we were at the point where like, I think the tip was we had to rub tuna juice on your face, something like that, to have him like play with you. And I don't know if that worked.
And I actually just told you to do that for fun. I wasn't supposed to.
And it was rumors the name of the actual dog, and it's a she, and she was really lovely, and this is her first movie, and I thought she did a pretty good job. Yeah, but like the actual directing a dog is just like, it's more like there's 100 people on set doing stuff, and all of a sudden it just goes dead silence, and the dog's just like, what happened? I was having a nice time. Is everyone all right? And you're like, no, you gotta do a thing. You gotta walk through a door. Dogs and doors, those are the worst things in the world. So getting a dog through a door was a whole other kettle of fish. But anyway, good job overall. Really good look. She absorbs light because she's dark. So like that was also not that fun. But like it was a treat. I liked working with pups.
Thank you so much, you guys. Faber, Michael J. White, Krawczyk for premiere of Film Fest with Grandma.